So you will take, there's four professors going. I'll be offering Introduction to Business, Biz 100, that survey course to kind of lay the groundwork across all different areas of business. Human Relations, which is a super fun class about the soft skills that employers are really looking for in the workplace. That class is going to be super interactive, and a lot of great examples and scenarios and case studies. So, really interactive. And then, of course, you can't be overseas in business and not talk about international business. I used to work in London in the heart of the financial district, so I'll be bringing in a lot of that experience and knowledge of the city. So, it should be a great opportunity. Professor John Corbally is coming. He's actually British, but he's lived here for a long time in the United States. His background is history, and what a better place to study history than London and Europe itself. The three history courses that he's offering are History of Western Civilization since the Renaissance, Contemporary European History, and World History since the 1500s. So those are great options for students. Many students who are already signing up for the program have expressed a big interest in history as well, so I think they're very excited by those courses. Another great colleague, Professor Trang Abid, is teaching English. So we have English literature since the late 18th century through present, women in literature, and an introduction to dramatic literature. Again, I couldn't say a better place to actually contextualize a lot of these English courses other than London. And lastly, on the right here, because now you can see my screen, is the Globe Theatre. This is a replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, and it sits right on the River Thames in London. You have the opportunity to go tour it while you're in London, and you can even go to some events where you can stand on the stage and recite on the stage at the Globe Theatre. It's so awesome. Professor Justin Smith from Santa Rosa has a strong theater background. He's amazing. He's teaching Introduction to Theater Arts, Multicultural Theater, and Introduction to Theater Management. So if you're at all interested in anything with performing arts, he is your man. Some of the other things that are included in your program fees is membership to the Imperial College Student Union. So this is just a short walk away from AIFS in central London, and it includes access to over 370 clubs for students. So if you enjoy participating in clubs to get to know other people and to get connected to the culture, there's also the ability to connect with sports activities if you are athletic and enjoy sport activities. For an additional fee, the campus also has a gym and a pool. There's things like shops, pubs, and cafes. So it really has that social side for you as a student while we're in London. Now, again, remember, AIFS is so well thought out about what they want to offer you and how to really make the best of your time that they're very strategic at sharing with you a weekly calendar of free or subsidized, which means reduced cost activities. So these could be things like sporting events. I mean, imagine going to a football or really a soccer match or rugby. You know, some of these are huge cultural activities in England. Walking tours, tons of theater and dance events. And there's also options to do day trips like to Stonehenge, Bath, Brighton, Cambridge, and Oxford, which are both about an hour north of London, and Stratford upon Avon. So these are some of the like just very iconic trips that you could take outside of London when you're staying in the UK. I really recommend considering some of these activities for you guys. Now, for housing, if you're like, hey, where am I going to stay? What is it going to be? Again, AIFS puts a lot of effort into where you guys will live. And so the option with the base program fee is what we call a homestay. That's where students are placed in twin rooms, so with a roommate, in a local British family in the zone 3 and 4 of London. And these are fully vetted families where their houses have been typically looked at, and they're families that really want to give back. They really connect with supporting students in an international city like London. So you stay there with the local family. You get a continental breakfast included, which is like think toast, coffee, tea, etc. on a daily basis. You have a shared kitchen, a general living space, and laundry facilities, and of course with Wi-Fi. So that's all included in the program fee. If for any reason you think a homestay isn't something that you're looking for or isn't something that fits your needs, there is the option to level up to a student residence. It is still a twin shared, roommate situation. Slightly more central in London, usually in zone two. Zone one is the heart of London. Still about a 45-minute commute from London, which is very typical for living in London. You'll have access to a kitchenette, an ensuite bathroom, a shared study area, and of course, laundry facilities in the building with Wi-Fi. However, the student residence option does not include your meals. If you choose that the student residence is a better fit for you, then it would be a supplement of almost $3,000 for that. But you have to think about what you're comfortable with and what you would like to do for your housing situation. On the screen in front of you are some examples of what a homestay looks like. So the picture on the left is what we call well, I think it's either attached or semi-attached house. You can see the living room in the upper right-hand corner, and then a student with his host family there in the lower right-hand corner. Now, traditionally in England, the houses are going to be obviously smaller than traditional American houses and the rooms as well. But the British are super welcoming, super loving, and they have a great list of suggestions for students that stay with them about local activities to do. On the screen in front of you now are pictures of the student residence. So you can see that it looks like a student dorm with the bedroom in the lower right, the outside facilities of the building on the upper right, and then the kitchenette in the left-hand side. Now, so part of the program does include giving you a transportation pass, or what we used to call an Oyster card. So that will cover your public transportation within the City of London. So if you're staying in a homestay out into zone 3 or 4, then your Oyster card will actually cover that. So that means that you don't have to pay additional for the underground tube or the metro, the overground buses, and some overground trains, but not all overground trains. So it depends. But your primary mode of transportation will be the tube and the buses, and that'll be taken care of for you, not just on the days that you're in school, but also on the weekends when you're going out and about. And that's for the whole duration of the program. Now, if you're saying, okay, this all sounds great, but what will it cost? And the program fee for this is $10,195. That includes your stay in the homestay, and your continental breakfast, access to the kitchen, laundry, and Wi-Fi. Although you could level up and do the student residence for $3,000 more, up to you and your preference. It also includes the transportation pass we talked about for school days and non-school days, that membership to the Imperial College Student Union, which includes the student clubs and the athletics access, support from AIFS staff 24/7, the orientation, workshops, and guided tour of London, those weekly subsidized activities in London and the surrounding region, medical insurance, and then pre-departure services and orientation. So it really is a lot. And what I have to say too is it's actually more affordable for you to study abroad while you're in community college and versus later on at a university. What's not included, just to be clear, is your airfare. So now AIFS will provide a group airfare option on those selected dates of September 3rd and I want to say December 4th. So there will be a group airfare option if you wanted to purchase into that, or you could purchase your own flight if you have any reason you want to do that. It does not include community college tuition fees, so you still need to pay for those courses and for textbooks. But I'll have to say about textbooks, myself, all my classes are OER free textbooks. I know Professor Trang has a lot of OER books as well, so we're very cognizant of trying to reduce that cost for you. It does not include personal expenses like passport fees or your personal trips like going to Paris for the weekend, right? That's not included, that's on your own. And it doesn't cover additional meals beyond that homestay continental breakfast. And you have the option to pay into a worldwide trip protector insurance when you sign up with AIFS. That's something that would help protect your program fees in case of program cancellation or interruption, but that's a choice for you. So those are things that are not included in the standard fee. The optional group flight, now this is a great option for many students. So this means that the group goes and gets to SFO, flies to London Heathrow, and the group flight also takes you back at the end of the trip. The nice thing about this, and a reason you might consider it, is maybe it's your first time traveling alone on your own abroad, and you just want that little extra help and coordination. AIFS will pick you up at the airport and take you to your accommodation in London. So if you have a little concern or anxiety about what do I do once I get to London Heathrow, how do I find my way to my homestay, the group flight is a good option for you because AIFS will make that transfer for you and take care of you. Plus, at the end of the program, they'll pick you up from your accommodations and bring you to the airport. The price will be announced shortly or is announced in the AIFS application. And obviously, once you book it, that's when you lock in the price. There are optional excursions that if you wanted to, you could purchase into. For instance, Scotland is beautiful. And this is an excursion to Edinburgh, the Isle of Skye, and Loch Ness. So if you ever heard of the monster Nessie that's in Loch Ness on the lower right-hand side of your screen, that's where you would be going. It's kind of an iconic trip to Scotland. It's definitely worth a 4-day trip. So it's 4 days, 3 nights. You go on the train, which is just gorgeous. The countryside in England and Scotland is gorgeous. And you get accommodations in student hostels. Hostels in Europe are pretty nice, very clean and very friendly. It's a great place to meet other travelers like yourself. I actually really enjoy hostels myself. It includes breakfast daily, evening meals, and a guided tour of the Scottish Highlands and the island of Scotland or islands of Scotland. But that's an additional $795, totally optional. Depends on if it's something you think you would enjoy doing. Now, if you receive financial aid, the good news is you can use your financial aid to pay for the program fees. But it's important that you've completed your 2627 FAFSA application, and it's really important you work with your financial aid specialist. If you take a look at your screen, it's Brianna Castro for the San Mateo Community College District, and her email's there. But I have to say, our district works very hard to coordinate with students who use study abroad to make sure that we can include that into your payment plan so that if you get a fall distribution of financial aid, that's recorded and coordinated so that you can use it towards the program. Now, if you're looking for other ways, which the students who are here early really are on it and are applying for scholarships, there are a lot of resources out there for you, and our district study abroad office really supports a lot of effort here. First and foremost, there are AIFS ambassador scholarships open to our regional consortium students. You have to have had 12 units completed and a GPA of 2.5 or higher. There are only so many scholarships, so it's not an automatic process, but there's one $100 scholarship and two 500 ones available. The Gilman scholarship is coming due in about a month in early March. Our district has a lot of great Gilman scholarships, including one next week on Thursday, if you're interested in attending. A lot of great support in revising essays and submitting it. The important thing is it's open to U.S. citizens or nationals, and you need to be a Pell Grant recipient. If you're a Pell Grant recipient and you're considering study abroad, you really should, and I'd say must, apply to the Gilman Scholarship. Our district has really done a lot of work to support students, and that will cover a significant portion of some of your program fees depending on what your award is. There are other applications on here. I think the one that's not on here is actually the San Mateo Community College Foundation has scholarships that are due on Monday. Applications, there's a whole bunch, and very often they're not actively applied to enough. Like we need more applicants. So I really encourage you, if you have a few minutes this weekend, to start looking at those San Mateo Community College scholarship offerings and to apply over the weekend. The Gilman takes more effort and more planning and cannot be left to the last minute, but I promise you it's worth the effort.
Candice, I
Yes.
just want to give a quick update on the AIFS Ambassador Scholarships.
Yes.
So these are three scholarships available. One is $1,000 and two are $500. And it is per district. So for our cohort, so if we have 25 of you apply for this program and you're accepted, then out of the 25, three of you are, guaranteed to get this scholarship. So it's the pool is anyone who applies for SMCCD's London program for those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it just shows another way in which the district and AIFS are so committed to making this as affordable as possible for our community college students. I think that says a lot. Zed is the man about scholarships, and Jerry. I just have to give a shout out to both of them. So there are other ways too. to think about how can we really use your resources to fund study abroad. I will tell you, I've studied abroad twice, a semester in Cambridge and a year in London, and then a semester in Thailand. I never once regretted. I don't even think about what it cost me now. I don't even think about if it added on time to my degree because it was such a transformative experience. But in the moment, right now, in the acute moment, you're like, what can I do to help make this more affordable for me? Of course, use your financial aid and apply to those scholarships. Even little small scholarships, every little bit helps. Make a few lifestyle changes. You guys are great at being here early in the application cycle. You have the time to think about how do I cut down expenses? How do I tell my family that for holidays or for my birthday, I really just would love financial support for my trip and not actual things? I really want this experience to happen. Are there ways that I could get additional side hustles, like a side job, sales, selling things, garage sales, gig work, etc.? Or some students have actually been successful doing crowdfunding. So think things like GoFundMe, Zelle, or Venmo campaigns. Students are super smart and savvy. I have to give it to them. And this is really where you should feel empowered to make a difference on getting to fall for early September. It definitely is achievable. And like I mentioned earlier, on your screen is just some summaries of the cost of study abroad at a university level. So some people may say, well, I'll just wait till I transfer. I'll say, no, don't wait. Don't pass up this opportunity now. Whether you come with me to London, which I would love, or you go on another one of our great semester-long programs, or even some of the short-term faculty-led, which are like a week or two long in the summer, do something. It will really change your heart and soul. I could promise that. But it costs you more to go through a UC. Now, I would say go now and go later because I did my master's abroad. But now is the time. Don't miss on this opportunity. So, eligibility requirements. We depart in early September. All applicants must be 18 years old or older by departure. You must have at least a 2.25 GPA. And you must have successfully completed 12 or more units of college level courses. So that is important to make sure you know by the time we leave, have you completed 12 units successfully with at least a 2.25 GPA and will be at least 18 years old. So we always, I think in today's world, we're so cognizant of making sure, like stepping back and thinking, is this experience right for me? Study abroad in a foreign country will have some challenges and will be stressful at moments. It'll also be amazing and awe-inspiring at moments. But to think about it, we ask that you kind of just reflect yourself on your own experiences and your own personality. So if you have any DSPS or DRC accommodations, so if you're a student with a disability and you have accommodations in the classroom, you're always welcome to discuss it with the study abroad director or with any of us. I'll tell you as a professor, in a classroom, the majority of accommodations, if we're professionals, we still accommodate those accommodations. But if you have other physical needs like walking around and maybe you're concerned about field trips or tours, I mean, I've heard the AIFS staff themselves talk about how they've worked really closely with people to make sure that they could do what they needed to do. So we're just asking, always consult with us if you have any questions or any concerns. We're happy to see how and in which ways we can accommodate you. Um, yes. There are other programs available. I think London is the best, but Florence is also amazing. Florence will be in spring of 2027, if that meets your timeline a little better. It's a beautiful place to visit, exceptional culture, student apartments. Again, the courses are UC, CSU transfer or transferable. You learn about Italian life and culture. How great is that? I imagine I'd eat pasta every day if I was there. And there's other activities that you could partake in. All that information is on the Study Abroad website. It's such a great opportunity if you decide London isn't for you. So on your right-hand side, you can see the priority deadline application with us for the district is March 6th, but I encourage you to sign up as early as you're interested, just so we can get you rolling and you can start working on that Gilman or scholarships. The priority application deadline gives you first selection of classes. There are 80 to 100 students going, so if you can sign up earlier, the better. And the general application deadline, so the typical deadline is as late as June 3rd, but if you're serious, I would encourage you to sign up earlier and to start committing, applying, making lifestyle changes, applying for scholarships, etc. But it's important to note that when you do your final AIFS application, that's when a deposit of $450 is due. You set up a payment plan, and your payment plan, the final date for that is July 10th. And my understanding, Zed could correct me, is if you have financial aid in fall, we work with the financial aid office to set that up, and that will be dispersed in fall towards your program fees. Zed,
Yes.
did I say that right?
That is correct. So your financial aid, if you're receiving financial aid in fall, that follows you to London. So the $10,000 in the program fee that you saw, AIFS will defer your payment until when your financial aid is dispersed. So there will be documents that paperwork that you'll have to submit working with your home college financial aid director. So if you're at CSM, you'd work with CSM's financial aid director. If you're at Cañada, you'd work with Cañada College's financial aid director, or at the same thing at Skyline. And then they will sign off on paperwork saying, hey, AIFS, Zed Gori is going to be receiving $3,000 from a Pell Grant in fall 2026. So AIFS will then say, okay, we've made a note that this $3,000 is going to come. Zed will owe $7,000 of his program fee to AIFS. So the 3,000, they will defer that amount. So does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, perfect.
And I really appreciate that. It wasn't as student centric, I think, as it is now back when I studied abroad. So we really try to work with you for a payment plan for financial aid distributions. So we really try to help you be successful in getting to London. So in general, the next steps are, if you're interested, is to submit the district application. Once you submit the district application, that will trigger us inviting you to a 30-minute Zoom interview with me, where it's a casual interview. I ask you some questions and some scenario questions, and also it's an opportunity to ask more questions about the program at that time, although there'll be time here today to do that as well. And students who are accepted to the program after their interview then submit the final AIFS application. And at that point is when you submit your $450 deposit and select all the other electives and things like that. So if you're at all serious, I encourage you to apply, but I want to give time. And there's the London applications in the chat. Thank you, Jerry. Now's the time really for any questions you may have about anything we didn't answer so far. So I'm going to stop share so I could see you all. And you're welcome to mic on or to type in the chat, whatever we can help you with. While we wait, Jerry or Zed, is there anything else you want to add that I didn't cover?
No, I just have a question for all the students in the Zoom. After this presentation, how many of you are really seriously considering applying for London? You can just say, yes, I am in the chat. Or if you've already applied.
I have one direct, yes, I am. Well, I can't wait to meet you. And there is a link to the London application right there for the district level. It's relatively simple. It doesn't take too much time, but once we receive that, then that's when I invite you in for an interview. So if you can make sure you get that in. But I'm here. Any questions? No question is a dumb question. If you're thinking of it, I can guarantee someone else is. Blake, great. I look forward to receiving your application. And you're welcome to private chat me any questions too, if that makes it more comfortable for you guys.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, so go
You're
ahead.
good. Um, about the college tuition fee, if you qualify for free college, does that apply as well? Or do you have to pay college, actual college fees? If that makes any sense.
That's a
That's
great
a
question.
great question. You want me to take it, Candice? I can.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So yes, if you qualify for free college, any of the classes that you're taking with SMCCD, those are considered, you won't pay for those because you're in San Mateo County, and these are San Mateo County Community College District classes. If you take classes from Diablo Valley College or Santa Rosa Junior College or Los Rios, since you're not in that county, that location, you will have to pay I think it's $46 a unit for those classes. But yeah, your free college should qualify if you're taking the business classes in this program and the life and culture.
Right. And do they have the option of taking two business classes with me?
Yes, they
So,
can take, because we've had some students take all classes with
okay.
SMCCD if it follows their student education plan and what they plan to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Great question. Somebody else, was it Julie? Did you have a question?
No, actually, that was kind of same question, so I already got my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. If you need anything, you just let me know.
Yes, I will.
Anything else, Jerry or Zed? I'm trying to think what else I could bring in or share.
I'm looking forward to a good cohort of students applying. And if all of you, I'm sure all of you are on social media, but do follow Study Abroad on Instagram. There is a sort of theme going on looking back 10 years. So if we look back 10 years for Study Abroad, in 2016, we sent 31 students to London with Professor Salome Islamia, from Kenyatta College. So I'm hoping we can recreate 2016 with all of you. We had four Gilman Scholarship recipients in that program, and that was the time we were really seeing an increase in students applying for Gilman Scholarship. So yeah, definitely get your applications in, get them in early, plan, for funding. If you need to schedule a one-on-one with Gerardo or myself, you can do that on the Study Abroad website. We'll help you out, in looking for all these scholarships that are there for funding. I will say this, I've never had a student go for London fully on scholarships. The scholarships do help offset the program fee. But yeah, getting a $10,000 scholarship or more, that is something I haven't seen. I have seen students receive the full Gilman scholarship, which is up to $5,000. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Great resources.
yeah.
All right, so we'll hang out here for any remaining questions, and you guys have all of our contact info and the website information. If you have time to apply this weekend, go ahead. We have some students waiting for interviews now, so the sooner you get your application in, the sooner we can get you invited in. But thank you for coming, and I hope to see you in London. If not, to see you go to some other study abroad program. It's such a great opportunity. You have a great district to go through.